We're gonna talk about all them hidden joys of being single. Are you ready? Let's go. I'm looking at my hair. I just came back from walking my puppy. I'm in Florida and it's raining here. It's not sprinkling, it's raining. I got a lot of rain, so I look the way I look, but I don't think you care, do you? I have some really good stuff for you, so let's go. We are not gonna pretend that divorce is easy, right? We're not gonna be ignoring the tough stuff. You know, on this channel, I don't ignore the tough stuff and I don't pretend that divorce is easy. We all have been through it and we know that it's a hurricane. But you know what? Once the storm passes and you start cleaning up the wreckage, you find the most surprising things. So today we are going to talk about these unexpected things that pop up after you get divorced, the good stuff. Because believe it or not, there's plenty of good stuff in being single. Two main things. One is freedom, and two, you finally have time and space to get to know you. But let's go deeper into it. You know, many of us have a hard time connecting to the person we were before we got married. And with all this time, all this space, you get to do that now. You get to reconnect with the old passions, the old things that you've always loved to do. Or if you're like, gosh, I don't want to be doing what I used to be doing, I'm not interested in that. You get to do whatever you want to. That includes trying new passions. Let's say that you always wanted to learn line dancing. You get to do that now, you know? You do. And nobody's gonna tell you that you can't. And nobody's gonna be rolling his eyes. Oh my God, oh, I don't like it. Why do you need to spend money on it? I don't really want you doing that. There's gonna be guys there. Girlfriend, you get to do whatever you want with that free time. You know? It's so freeing. It's amazing. And I'm not talking about anything work related. This is the stuff that like your soul calls you to do. It wants you to do just for the fun of it, just for the joy of it, just because it makes you feel good. You get to do that. For those of you that have been in marriages where things like that were frowned upon and eyes were rolled and he had his attitude because you were spending money on something that was giving you joy, and he really didn't like you joyous, well, guess what? You get to be joyous every day now. Every day, if you want. And the best thing about it is that you really get to experiment. You get to try new things. It doesn't have to be the old hobby that you're just dusting off. No, whatever you want. Another beautiful thing that has to do with the freedom. Your schedule, señorita, is your own schedule. Your own schedule. On your own terms. Whatever goes on that schedule is yours. Nobody else's. Unless you have children, obviously, right? And you're a mom. That's a little different. But still, there are things, days, evenings that get freed up because you no longer have to remember about different family events that have to do with his side of family. Get together with friends on his side. Anything really that had to do with the husband goes away. It just goes away. You know what also goes away? Something is in my eye, sorry. You know what goes away that's really, really cool? You don't have to pretend that you're happy anymore at front of other people. Because like at the end, in all of the marriages that I coach my clients on, it's always there's this period of time when it's really good and then things just fizzle out, and then there's a point where it's just like really bad. And yet there's conflict within you, there's shame within you, and you just don't want to burden other people with things, so you just pretend you're happy. Plus it's this culture too, it's the US culture. You're supposed to be happy. When someone asks you how you're doing, you're supposed to answer that you're fine, yeah? So that pressure of pretending to be happy wife, to be okay with how things are, that goes away. Do you know how light you will feel if you're like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? Keep on going. It is so worth it not to have all the pressures that are related to the divorce itself. And then you find yourself in this like land of peace, inner peace, nothing bothering you. When I say nothing bother you, I'm talking about things related to the divorce, things related to marriage, things related to the behaviors that worried you. You know, some of you have dealt with infidelity. You don't have to think about that anymore. Is he cheating with her? Is he seeing her? Did he go to see her? Or is he really where he told me he's... None of those thoughts are gonna be in your head, you understand? How beautiful that is? It's awesome, because the stress goes away, and then there's this open space in your mental field for whatever else you want it to be. And you get to decide on the tempo of your life. You wanna stay late on Friday night? You can. You wanna sleep in on Saturday and then walk around till 4 p.m. in your PJs? You can. You can. And some of you are like, well, I was able to do that when I was married. Good for you. Not every wife gets to. Not every wife has a husband that will be like, whatever. There are plenty of men out there that will criticize that. So she feels obliged to get out of her PJs and put something that he will not be criticizing, you see? And now, for those of you who had that, now you get to do whatever you want. Whatever. Now, if you're coming out of the type of dynamic where there was a lot of control in your relationship, that's another extra thing that's gonna feel super light. None of that judgment, none of that critical voice that's in the back there controlling you. You don't have to worry about his opinion. You don't have to worry about what decision he's gonna make without considering you. You don't have to worry that when you will be on the way to a party, he will freak out in a car. You don't have to worry about that, you know? And then you walk in and you have to pretend that everything was fine in a car when it wasn't. Like, that layer of lying is no longer. All that frustration goes away. So you get to make the decisions without worrying about his opinion, without compromising, without consulting. You don't have to worry about what he's going to do and how things are going to make him feel. Will he be happy or will he be upset? You do not have to waste any of your mental energy on that. Here is another thing. If you have your own house or your own apartment and you have your own space, there's something to be said about the bliss that comes from being in just your own space, that peace in knowing that you can have it any way you want to. You can decorate it any way you want to. Paint the walls any way you want to, buy wallpaper or not. You can have a whole room filled with plants because you love plants. You can have them everywhere if you want, you know? And way more space in your closet space, typically, right? Especially if you had to share your closet with your ex-husband. Now it's all yours. Or you know how you will like clean the kitchen constantly as a wife and a mom? You will clean it and it will get messy. You will clean it and it will get messy. You will clean it and it will get messy. None of that anymore, unless you live with children. But if you don't, none of that anymore, you hear me? You know how awesome that is? You walk in the kitchen and it's clean. Maybe you're the kind of a person that doesn't really care if your laundry is folded immediately after it dries, and you get to leave that laundry in a dryer for many, many days. You've always wanted to have that freedom, and now you just get to. Or maybe you're the other way around, where you're like, I'm doing the laundry, I'm doing the washing and drying the same day and putting it all away the same day because I want it done. And it all gets done in the same day. It's your responsibility, and it's also your pleasure in knowing that it all gets done exactly how you want it. You're not gonna be seeing clothes left on the floor unless you leave them. You're not gonna be seeing towels just laying on the floor in a bathroom unless you throw them there. You're not gonna have that situation where it's Saturday, you wash the sheets are brand new, clean on the bed, and your husband lays down on that bed without first taking a shower after having a busy day. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's laying on my clean sheets all sweaty. Not gonna happen. So your home truly can become your sanctuary. It can become your place. It's your place where you recharge, where you feel completely safe to let your guard down, and where you can simply be, right? So no performing, no pretending, not being quiet, no emotional labor unless you choose it. Now let's talk about relationships and what happens to relationships after we get divorced. This may sound counterintuitive, but often single life after divorce leads to deeper, more authentic connections with other people. Because like when you think about this, right, what really happens? Oftentimes, your ex's family and all those connections just go away. So now you get to consciously curate your circle. So if you gravitate towards people who uplift you, who make you laugh, who see you for who you are, who laugh with you, you get to do that. And it's not truly so much about replacing, also it may feel like that, but it's more about like creating true support circle for you, for this new life, right? Choosing the people that you know will support you and you will support them, and it just feels very aligned for this moment in your life because you're a different person now. What you've been through changed you. So it only makes sense that some of the people that are around you will also be different. So now let's talk about dating, because that's different too. If you have done your work, your inner work after the divorce, there's going to be big difference in how you date. You understand yourself better. You understand your needs. You understand your wants. You know what your boundaries are. And you have a better understanding of what's gonna really actually work for you. What also is going to be very clear is what are your non-negotiables. And you have most likely never known this the way you know it now because of the divorce. So when you enter dating, you enter it from a place of wholeness, not of seeking completion. And that, my friend, is incredibly empowering. Because you're not looking for someone to fill a void for you. It's more like you're looking for someone to share life's adventures with. And because of what you have been through and how you had to learn more about your strength and you know yourself better, your relationships with other women become different too. The friendships are deeper. You have more courage to lean on your girlfriends more. You have more courage to share more openly what's going on. And so you create these incredible bonds that actually sustain you. And you know that you want around yourself women that actually get you, women who celebrate your victories and will hold you when you fall. But I think the best thing about being single after divorce is that you get to really get to know yourself. So it's like you've navigated the divorce, and that itself makes you a warrior because you've faced your fears. You've made some tough decisions, and then you picked yourself back up piece by piece. So now you have a different level of resilience within you. No one can ever take that away from you. And then think about this, right? Like when you are forced, you don't have any other choice. You are forced to stand on your own 2 feet. You learn how capable you actually are because it all comes from within. And then let's think about what's ahead of you, right? Blank slate. You hold the pen. You get to write that new book. maybe just a chapter, but maybe a whole new book, because it's written by a different person than you were before. And so you're like, yeah, no, everything is changing. I'm changing who I am. I am redesigning myself from within. I'm building a completely different person, different personality. I am giving myself new qualities because I've always wanted to be this person and not that person. And so I am going to reinvent myself consciously. You have a freedom to do this. You don't have to think about him. You don't have to think about how insecure he might feel, because you are making progress in your life and you're changing. So no compromises, no negotiations, just pure choice. Your choice. So for those of you who are going through the divorce, or maybe those of you that are already done, but you're like, oh my gosh, I'm still kind of terrified of this new life. Girlfriend, let your heart settle here. Let it settle. And remember, this is brand new, but it does not mean that it's dangerous. You're at the point zero. You get to create whatever you want. Everything is possible for you. But now you are stronger, more resilient, and that vibrant, incredible life is just waiting for you. So we are done here. But for those of you who have been single for quite some time, let me know in the comments. What has it been like for you? What are the unexpected joys that you have discovered on this side of things, so that other women who are going through it can be inspired and have some hope that this difficult journey that's maybe in front of them, or they just got out, or maybe they're going through it, so they know that it's better. It gets so much better on this side. All right, my loves, I'll see you next time.